So right now we want to add surfaces. The windows that we use for adding surface is the lens data editor. As I mentioned before, we have object, stop, and image. We cannot change those. We cannot remove them. So uh, let's take a look at the cross section of the system viewer. Because our system is a 2D system, it's completely rotational symmetry. We can take a look at cross section instead of the 3D viewer. So we click on cross section and we have a new windows. I'm gonna put it here. So as you can see, there is nothing. When we want to see a result, we can double click on the windows. So right now I only have an aperture which is 50 millimeter, and here you can see the stop. The clear semi-diameter is 25 millimeter, which is the half of the whole diameter of the input aperture. So for adding a surface, we have two options. One is to right click, insert surface after. Right now I want to add a surface after a stop because the entrance pupil or the stop of the system is the first surface of the lens. So I'm going to click on insert surface after. Right now I have another surface. So by this method, I can click and add surfaces. So let me delete those surfaces and click and delete. So the other method is to press enter. So if I highlight stop surface and press enter, the surface is gonna add on top of a stop. So right now I want to have a surface between a stop and image. So I click on image and press insert. So I press it as much as I want and I have a lot of surfaces. So let me delete those surfaces and we only need one surface. So click on image. Let's put two surfaces. So the surface one is a standard, the surface one, which is the stop, is a standard surface. So for the comment, we're gonna put a comment. This is the first surface lens one. We only have one lens. So just as a comment. So the radius of curvature based on our calculation, it's calculated that the radius of curvature somehow based on a lot of approximation is equal to the focal length, and the focal length is 200 millimeter. So we're gonna put 200 for the radius of curvature. So as you can see, right now I have a curved surface. In the lens layout, you can press settings and see, for example, from surface 1 to surface 4. Right now I can see all the surfaces. So click OK. You cannot see it from the infinity because the image is at infinity. But you can add a dummy surface before the stop. Like you can click and add insert surface. You can call it dummy surface. And for this dummy surface, the thickness, we're gonna put, let's say 10. Now we're gonna go here, click on dummy surface. Now we can see our dummy surface and we have a lot of field. We can just do it for one field, which is the on-axis field. And the wavelength is 1, color raised by field. So we are not gonna change anything else in this windows. We can add flash also. So right now we're gonna keep it like this. So that's lens, the first surface of the lens. The radius of curvature, as we mentioned, is 200 millimeter. The thickness, based on our spec, we say it's from 4 to 8. So we're gonna put, let's say 6 millimeter for the thickness. So we can see we have a lens that the thickness is 6 millimeter. The material of the lens, based on the spec, is NBK7. So we're gonna type N-BK7 and press enter. So when you press enter, Zemax automatically knows that this is the material from the catalog and it's gonna add the material. So let's say right now I just type a random material that is not in the catalog. So we cannot add that material, we're gonna get an error. So NBK7 is a known material for Zemax. Okay. So for the coating, we are not gonna put any coatings. Clear semi-diameter is okay. We don't need to change it. I'm gonna explain why it's a little bit higher than 25, but for now we're gonna keep it like this. Chip zone doesn't matter, we don't need to change it. Conic, for now we are not gonna change it, and the uh, thermal parameters we are not gonna change it. So right now we finished the surface 1. Now the surface 2 is 6 millimeter from surface 1, which is we have this thickness. So for the surface 2, based on our calculation, if we put 200, we're gonna get this the focal length that we need. So because the surface 2 is on the opposite direction, we need to put negative 200. So that's surface 2. Now we can see that the system is like this. For the thickness, let me remove this surface. Okay. To the image surface, we can put any number. Let's say we put 20. And you can see this is not at the focus. So one way to make the system at focus is to click on this solve and then click on the thickness. So we're gonna find the right thickness and then go to marginal ray height. So now Zemax is gonna automatically put the image surface at the minimum marginal ray height, which is the focus point. So right now it's pretty close to the focus point. The system is at focus. The other option is to, let me fix this one. The other option is to go to analyze, go to optimize, and then click on quick focus based on spot size radial, and click on use centroid, click OK. Now it goes to the focus, close to the actual, you can see the beams, because the system has a lot of aberrations. It's not completely, there is no actual one focus point. So right now, this is our optical system, and we put all the surfaces. Next, we're going to talk about how we can solve this system.